Aveline and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are decorating an apartment. Now this one is sort of in the same style as my, what did I call it, cheap rundown family apartment or something that I did like a week or maybe 1.5 weeks ago, something like that. So it's very rundown, it's kind of used, it's sort of thrifty, but I wanted to make it for a pair of runaway teens. So these are supposed to be twin girls that have run away from their family, and I'm kind of thinking they're on the run, as in they're still looking for them. I don't think they've just been, like, I don't know how you say that, but I don't think they've just run away. I think they're still being searched for, kind of. So I wanted to make this apartment in this kind of style, for two twin teens, not tweens. So yeah, that is what we're doing today. I hope you guys like it. So this is built in not City Living, no, San Myshuno, obviously, because that's where we have apartments. You can actually build your own apartments now, technically, because we did get the roommate system, so that is possible, but I like to do my apartments in the already made, the pre-existing apartments in San Myshuno, so that is what we're building today. And this should be in 18 Culpepper House, if I recall correctly. If I don't, it's up in the upper left corner right now. Otherwise, it should also be listed in the description down below. So if you want any information about the price or the amounts of bedrooms in this apartment or anything like that, that information is always in the description, just in case you did not know. There is also a link to a tutorial where I explain how to place clutter with the OMSP shelf. Is that what it's called? OMSP, I think so. The red shelf, and there's also a download link to the red shelf. I've begun to get a lot of questions about that red shelf again, so I thought I would just mention it. And yeah, it is also linked to in the description. I think one of them doesn't work anymore, like one of the versions of the red shelf doesn't work anymore, at least it didn't for me, so I had to download one of the ones with fewer slots on it. And I think it should all be sorted and stuff. It should be in the description. Anyways, moving on. So, of course, I am going to be using a lot of the kind of, I want to say, disgusting looking items today, such as the fridge in the kitchen and also the counters. The counters are from City Living. I don't remember, I believe the oven and also the fridge are from City Living too, because they kind of go with the counters and also the cabinets, of course. Those are recolors of base game cabinets and counters, but they are from City Living, so they look very used, they look kind of disgusting, and I thought that would just sort of fit this apartment. So I'm also trying to use as many items that kind of look like they're DIY projects, such as this bookcase that I'm using right next to the TV stand, and also the coffee table. Those are both from Discover University, but they're pretty cool items because the bookcase here looks like it's kind of made out of water pipes and also planks, and I don't know what the items that the coffee table are made of, but it also looks kind of DIY, so I had to go for items, or I had to at least use the items that we have in game that sort of look like they could have been made by the Sims themselves, but not on a woodworking table, because those items are very woodsy and did not really fit the vibe of this apartment that well. So hopefully I'm making some sort of sense right now. And also the chair over in the corner is definitely thrifted from the spice or from the spice market. What you call that? I forgot what they call it. Flea market, yes. So I was trying to find a few items as well. There's a couple of lamps around the apartment too that kind of look like they've been thrifted as well, such as the lamp on the hallway table under the window right here. So yeah, that is pretty much what I'm going for today. So as for the twins in this apartment, one is very creative and is into music. I think they could be into fashion as well, to be honest. And then the other one is into video gaming and also programming. But unfortunately, they only have one laptop in this apartment, and it's the one from Strangerville, so it looks really used and disgusting, like they could have possibly found it on the street or something. I don't know who would have left a laptop on the street, but I figured they would need a laptop for gameplay purposes, so that's why I put it over here. But it looks really, really nasty. So one thing about this apartment too was that I was trying to make sure that all the furniture wasn't placed perfectly, so not necessarily at an angle, but just sort of not placed perfectly, so we have a random stack of suitcases over in the corner. Also, in one of the bedrooms, I have placed the bed in front of two bookcases, which is super annoying for gameplay, but that's the vibe I was going for. I just didn't want everything to... I didn't want it to look like they thought everything through. Like, it had to look a little bit like a mess. So, because basically they're just making do with what they have, like thrifted furniture, and they basically just taken what they could. So to make sure that the apartment kind of looked a bit like it wasn't very well thought through, like they've not styled it or anything, I was trying to make sure that the placement of the furniture wasn't perfect in any way. So I don't know if that's making sense, but I don't know how else to explain it either. So, but yeah, that's basically another thing. So if you're super frustrated about the placement of, I don't know, the bookcase in the living room or the hallway table or the bed here in the other bedroom, that would be why. Like, I'm aware it's not perfect, but it's not supposed to be either. I actually feel like doing apartments or just interiors where it's not supposed to look perfect, like they've not sat down and tried to style this interior in any way, I actually think that's more difficult to decorate because everything has to be planned out. No matter if you do normal interiors, like styled interiors or interiors like this, you still have to plan out the interior. So how do you plan out unplanned interiors? It's so weird. Like, how do you do that? So I was trying my best. I think it turned out okay, but it definitely looks a little bit weird if you don't know that it's supposed to look like that. Does that make sense too? I don't really know. Anyways. So I was going back and forth just a little bit between these two bedrooms because I constantly remembered new items that I wanted to use in the other bedroom. I know that's a little bit annoying when it comes to speed builds, but I had to do it because otherwise I would have forgotten about the items. So I think we're done now. So this is the musician's bedroom, or the twin that is very into music, and that is why this room also has a little bit of a boho feel to it, whereas the other one is just kind of basic a little bit, like very thrift store. So this one has a lot of plants in it. It also has a lot of candles in it. And I kind of figured that for gameplay, if you're playing the Runaway Teen Challenge and you want to make sure that you still have somewhat of an income, I don't think you can go to school with the Runaway Teen Challenge. I think you're actually supposed to just avoid going to school at all costs. So, and also, is it no, that's Disney Legacy Challenge. What is it that you're not supposed to do in the Runaway Teen Challenge? I don't really remember. I know that you're not supposed to start out with a house though, but we're just gonna look past that rule and just completely forget about it. That rule does not exist. The good thing about apartments when it comes to challenges is that you don't have to pay more in rent depending on what kind of furniture you have in the apartment or how many electronics you have or how many lamps you got or whatever. The rent will stay the same, at least as far as I know. In my experience, it always stayed the same. I don't know if it depends on which apartment you live in, but the apartments I've actually played in with the rent, like, it always stayed the same. So I think that is brilliant for challenges, because you're always, with the challenges that we have, you're always kind of lacking money, especially if you're playing. I think, no, the exception might be Not So Berry, because you're supposed to do jobs, but if you're playing Runaway Teen or 100 Baby Challenge or Big Sister or, I don't know, one of the other 100 challenges we have, you're not supposed to have a job. So, or you can in some of them, but it's impossible to. So for this kind of challenge, I figured that it would also help if one of the teens was playing music, because that means they can busk on the street. And since the apartment also has a laptop in it, the other teen, the one that's supposed to live in this bedroom or sleep in this bedroom, can possibly do some programming or some video gaming and earn some money off of that. Or maybe some streaming. I don't know if you can stream on a laptop or if you need the fancy video gaming, or what's it called? Video creating table? Whatever that thing is called. The one from Get Famous. That takes up a lot of space, by the way. I don't know if they can only stream on that one. I have actually not streamed in-game, at least as far as I remember. but they can definitely do some programming on the laptop. They're supposed to be very into video gaming and programming and science and all that stuff anyways. So not that science has anything to do with computers, but they're just a little bit of a geeky sort of sim. So you can have multiple hobbies in real life, so why shouldn't your Sims be able to have multiple hobbies too? And I also remembered that I hadn't used the cork board anywhere in this apartment, and I definitely feel like that is a cute item to have. Maybe they have a sister or a brother who still lives at home who sends them postcards without their parents knowing or something. I think that could be kind of fun. As for the bed in this room, I was trying to make it look like it's one of those beds that could it's hidden in the closet, like you can close it up, lift it up, and I don't know what those beds are called, but they have a name, I just don't remember. But it's supposed to look like one of those beds. I don't know if I managed. I should have probably made the closet a little bit taller for it to look like that, but I didn't think that far. So they also have some old school projects in here because I thought that the Sim would be pretty proud of the robot and also the rocket ship they'd made when they were a kid, so they brought them with them. I don't know, I thought that would be kind of cute. And then I also put some books in both of the rooms so they would sort of fit the Sims' hobbies and interests and stuff. So the first bedroom, the one with the music instruments, the teen in that bedroom has a book that is for learning guitar and also one for piano, and the other teen has one for video gaming and also programming. So, and then for the hallway, I never really know what to do with long, narrow hallways because I'm always afraid that I'm going to put something in the room and it's going to block the Sims from being able to walk through the hallway. So, but I figured they'd have a hallway table at least and also a mirror. I also put a bookcase in there just because, and of course another mirror and somewhere to hang your coat. I still don't have one of those, a coat hanger for my apartment, because I don't really know what to get. So every time I have guests over, I just tell them to leave their jacket on the floor and I feel so rude. But I don't really know what to get for my apartment yet when it comes to coat hangers. It's not the most exciting item, but it's a bit difficult to fit it into my apartment somehow, so I don't know, I'm gonna figure it out at some point. Anyways, so and the bathroom is the very last room that we're decorating. I did manage to fit in some laundry machines in here, and they also have a shower, a sink, a toilet, and actually also a cupboard or closet or whatever for random stuff that's not really usable or functional in gameplay. It's just decor, but yeah. And then also, of course, some dirty spots around the house too, and I think that's about it. So if you guys like this apartment, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye!